Hello and welcome to the 30-day challenge. Today is day 24 and our question today is, what possibilities are you hiding in your thyroid? And as you can see here, I'm going to be looking at the screen. Sorry, I'm not looking at you. You've got the thyroid gland. The thyroid gland is pretty interesting because it requires the hypothalamus to release hormones to the thyroid, which then releases a stimulating hormone to the rest of the body. So let's just have a look at this for a second. So here you've actually got your thyroid right here. And what they don't show on here is the parathyroid. And the parathyroid is just as important as the, and I need my microphone, is just as important as the thyroid, because parathyroid deals with the calcium metabolism in your body and the thyroid is dealing with weight, a whole bunch of stuff. And I've got some more slides here to show you. So what a lot of people miss, see this muscle here? This is a very important muscle in the thyroid, and most of us carry a whole bunch of tension in here, and that little muscle gets all tight and it's attached to the trachea here. And you can see the hyoid bone, the thyroid cartilage right in here, the epiglottis, which is a little flap that goes over to stop the food going down your air hole. And then you've got, look at all this blood supply that surrounds this. So you don't want your thyroid getting too big or too small. You want that thyroid just right. And with the amount of people on thyroid medication, it horrifies me, which is one of the reasons why I'm doing this video, just to see, what possibilities might you be hiding in your thyroid. And with the amount of people that I've worked with over the years, my background's chiropractic, and then I've added nutrition, emotion, and energy into a holistic approach. And thyroid tends to be one of the biggest ones. But usually when there's a thyroid problem, you have to go higher into the brain. So let's go and look at this next slide that I've got here for you. So this is what I was talking about. Here you've got your hypothalamus. Let me make sure that's showing up on the screen good for you. It releases TRH, which is thyrotropin releasing hormone, and that stimulates TSH, which is the thyroid stimulating hormone, which then produces your T3 and your T4, which is to do with metabolism. You've got growth development, you've got growth and development, and your catecholamines as well. And you can look that up, because if I talk about catecholamines, we'll be here for a couple of days. And then there's obviously that negative feedback, which goes back into the hypothalamus to slow things down. So whenever they're testing for hormones, they're testing the TSH levels, because if you don't have enough TSH, then you're not going to produce your T3, T4, and they also check your T3, T4 levels. So, it's a very interesting process in the body. Alrighty, let's go over here. I pulled this slide up because this is a histology slide, which is really interesting, and I've looked at a few of these in my time, and don't freak out. This is a cartoon one, and it's a little more simple than it actually looks to be, but this is actually a section of thyroid, and here you can see the actual capsule and the connective tissue. You can actually see the capillary. We actually say capillary. You guys say capillary. Then this here is the colloid, and it's actually a glycoprotein. And then you've got the actual follicular cells here, which actually secrete the T3 and the T4. And you've actually got the C cells here, which actually secrete the calcitonin. So this whole thing is actually the follicle. So the thyroid gland consists of groups of thyroid follicles surrounded by connective tissue capsules. Thyroid follicles are composed of a space filled with the glycoprotein colloid enclosed by a layer of follicular cells. So this is actually, so when you've got hypothyroidism, these cells here are bigger than they should be. They've got too much liquid in them. And when you have got hypothyroidism, the cells are actually too small. So this here is a good representation of what a healthy cell should look like. So, what possibilities are hiding in your follicular cells, in your C cells, in your T3 and your T4, in your capillaries, in the colloid, in the glycoprotein, in the actual connective tissue. So you've actually got a few places in there that you could be hiding possibilities. Alrighty, let's go over to this next one. I like this next one because don't freak out. There's a lot of information on here, but I'm actually going to come over onto this side because if I click on here, we get a nice whatever that is. And that I don't want to read that. So here's your hypothalamus in the brain, right? And it is going to send out that thyroid releasing hormone to the thyroid, which comes down here. And then that secretes the T3, T4. Now, check this out. This is cool. Look. So T3 is responsible for your thermogenesis, so your body heat, but look, body weight. And if you come down here, it's also responsible for your lipolysis and your body fat. So T3 is important for maintaining your body weight. So if you're 2 under or 2 over, you need to have a wee little chat with that T3 and see what possibilities might be hiding in there for you. Now, what's interesting is, hang on, I've got a piece of hair here. You come over here, this T3 in the liver, and look, it requires cholesterol, fatty acids with that bile from the gallbladder. So if you've had your gallbladder taken out, then that's going to have a little impact on that T3 from the thyroid. And look, it also the muscle. Now here's what's interesting. I did find another one and it showed a really good picture of the T3 going into the mitochondria, and the T3, the mitochondria using the T3. Mitochondria is the energy center. It makes the energy in the body. And it also shows a picture going to the repair, like the DNA. Copying the DNA and the RNA. So your T3 is a wee little important. So, and then look up here, your T4 into T3 in the pancreas. So if you've got anything going on with your pancreas, you need to have, we have a wee little chat with your T3 and your T4 and say, yeah, you guys, any possibilities you guys can get on board here to help me out. And then this obviously is a little, look, blood pressure and heart rate, T3. I mean, T3 and T4 are, I mean, I can't tell you how important they are. Now, it's really interesting. T4 does change to T3, but look, T4 will also go to muscles and it'll also go to the pancreas. And T4 will get converted into T3 in the pancreas and look in the muscles. So, yeah, so what possibilities could be hiding in your thyroid today? So let me go back over to here. Now, the other thing I wanted to talk about was the parathyroid, because the parathyroid actually sit on the thyroid, and they're very important for your calcium. So when you're looking at thyroid, you also have to look at the parathyroid too. So I would get in there and have a little chat with that muscle. Feel that muscle. It's probably tender on some of you. And get in there and run some body processes on it if you're access, some Reiki, I mean, whatever healing modality you have. And if you don't have a healing modality under your belt, go get one. They're important. They help the body. The body really likes them. It's nurturing. Alrighty, so hopefully this has given you a little bit of insight into the thyroid and what possibilities might be hiding in there, but also where to look. So you've got the actual anatomy itself, you've got the blood supply, you've got muscles, you've got the supporting structures, you've got the thyroid itself. I mean, look at that blood supply. That's just crazy good. All right, then you've actually got the hormones that are responsible. So your TRH and your TSH and the actual T3, 4 itself. And you've actually also talked to that negative feedback loop to make sure it's doing what it should be doing. Because often I find that that negative feedback loop has got misidentified, misapplied, mismatched something. So if you can clear that out, and then look, you also need to have a wee chat with your anterior pituitary gland as well when you're looking at the thyroid. And then you look at all the places that possibilities could be hiding in here. You've got your follicular cells, you've got the colloid, you've got the capsule, connective tissue, you've got the capillary, C cells. You've got a lot of places. And then look at all of this. This one. Liver, muscle, pancreas, blood pressure, heart rate, hypothalamus. I mean, look, leptin is in there as well. Your body weight. I mean, the fats, lipolysis, your body fat. It's crazy, crazy good. All right, well, you guys have fun having a chat with your body, and we will see you tomorrow for day 25. All right, guys, have a good one.